Mount Blade II Bannerlord has been out for just over 2 years now, and if you're anything like me, then you've probably poured hundreds of hours of your lives into the game that you're never going to get back. No, like, seriously. One new update and that's it. Hundreds of hours. Gone. So, Bannerlord might be feeling a little bit stale right about now. Almost like you need a big shake-up, a new gripping world to pull you back into the black hole of your gaming room for countless hours, only to leave for food, sleep, and the restroom.
Oh yeah.
Well then, you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to tell you my top 5 overhaul mods that will completely change Mount Blade II Bannerlord. These mods are going to change everything you know and love about Bannerlord, transforming the races, the map, characters, kingdoms, and even adding in custom assets like fire-wielding spells and Rhinos as mounts. So, if you want a completely different adventure than what OG Bannerlord offers, then follow along. I've tried to pick out a variety of conversion mods that each offer their own unique and captivating experiences, so there should be one in here for everybody. Just as a disclaimer, some of these mods are still in development and are not out or released to the public at the time of this video. I'll flag all of the ones that are currently playable and all of the others that aren't. I recommend saving this video and coming back to it later on to check out any of the mods that you like to see if they are released. If you're new around here, then why not join the best Bannerlord community on YouTube? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all of my uploads in the future. Let's get into the video. Number 1. Realms Forgotten. The first mod on our list is Realms Forgotten. Realms Forgotten is a complete overhaul fantasy mod that transforms Bannerlord into the world of Aearth, which is on the brink of destruction. It most closely resembles the time period from 800 BC to 1170 BC of our time, but it's not limited to only medieval concepts. Realms Forgotten adds in a plethora of new content to the game, like weapons, armor, and troop types that all represent the world of Aearth and its different cultures. The weapons and armor look absolutely great too. Like, I was actually blown away by some of the designs. I think my favorite was the Elvish armor, but there are so many new assets that you can find throughout your journey, and they all have such an incredible amount of detail added to them. The mod adds in a bunch of new races to the game as well. Now you can play as the Elves, the Realms of Men, who are split up into 3 different factions, and even the Undead Scourge, who all have their own corresponding kingdoms. One thing that I thought was really cool was that you can actually play as the leader of the Undead, bringing about your own Scourge upon Aearth. The mod also adds in other cool stuff like usable spells in combat, which completely changes things up from vanilla Bannerlord. I mean, just check out some of these spells you can use in the game. There is just something so satisfying about destroying your enemies on the battlefield with fire or lightning. Realms Forgotten is deep with its own lore-rich base storyline that can take you on a compelling adventure. If you want to learn more about Realms Forgotten lore, then you can read all about it on its own website, which I'll link in the description below. Number 2. Kingdom of Arda. Kingdom of Arda is a total conversion mod for Bannerlord that aims to transform Calradia into Middle-earth from Lord of the Rings. Think about the endless possibilities of this mod. Riding out with the House of Gondor, facing endless hordes of orcs, or recreating your very own siege of Helm's Deep. You'll have the entirety of Middle-earth at your fingertips. Kingdom of Arda will add in several new races to the game. Elves, dwarves, hobbits, orcs, Uruk-hai, goblin, and many types of men. This ambitious mod is attempting to recreate the entirety of Middle-earth, meaning that once released, you'll be able to visit any place you want from both the films and the books. You'll even be able to join the Fellowship and aid Frodo on his quest to destroy the One Ring. They are also adding in an entirely new mode called Story Mode, where you can play as famous characters and relive famous battles or moments. So that Legolas build you've been trying to use, yeah, well, now you can actually play as him. So, if you are even a mild fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise, then this mod is a must-have whenever it comes out. Number 3. Shokuho. Have you ever wanted to play as a samurai in Bannerlord? Yes? Well then look no further than Shokuho. Shokuho is a total conversion mod with the aim of transporting you back to the year 1568, throwing you into the Sengoku Jidai, the Warring States era of Japan. This mod is essentially Total War Shogun 2 in Bannerlord. Now, not only will you get to join or form your own kingdom and strategically take other provinces, but you will be able to fight in them as your very own samurai character. Of course, one of the biggest pulling points from this mod is going to be the samurai armor, and so far it looks great. In fact, all of the weapons and armor that we've seen look great and accurate to their source material. A lot of the landscapes and castles look incredible too. The game pretty much looks like an updated version of Shogun 2, if I'm being honest. From what we've seen so far, you are going to feel as though you are actually in the Sengoku Jidai, helping another lord or campaigning for yourself to become the new shogun. From fire arrows illuminating the castle that you're sieging, to entering into deadly mortal combat following the way of Bushido. Shokuho has it all, and if you are interested in this time period, it's definitely going to be one to check out when it's fully released. Number 4. Eagle Rising. If you've been living under a rock, then perhaps somehow you haven't yet heard about Eagle Rising. To put it simply, Eagle Rising transforms Bannerlord into ancient Rome. If you've always wanted to form your very own testudo and you're a fan of Rome Total War, then look no further because this mod is the one for you. You get to play in the time of ancient Calradia, where the empire that has already carved out a large part of land will continue to grow, or you can help it burn. The mod adds in 5 new factions to the game, all with their own astonishing designs. Rome, Dacia, Scythia, Celts, Carthage. The armor, weapons, and all of the assets added with this mod is honestly incredible. It's completely insane to me that this mod, as well as all of the other ones on this list, are completely free-to-play mods and not games themselves. The level of detail in things like the troop tier list is massive. I mean, there's so many different troop types that you can build your army around. And this is done with all of the cultures, not just the Roman ones. So if you feel like becoming a Roman legionnaire, or you want to start up your own Celtic horde to ravage the existing empire, Eagle Rising is the mod for you. Number 5. The Old Realms. For the final mod on this list, we have the Old Realms. If you're a fan of the Warhammer Fantasy series, then you're going to want to pay attention to this one. The Old Realms is set in the age of Karl Franz's ascension to the throne. A whole bunch of custom assets have been added to this mod. Details like making castles and towns on the world map resemble that from Warhammer and their culture's themes, and skills now have their own new designs that freshen up the feel from OG Bannerlord and add in new skills like spellcraft. These are just little things, but they really do go a long way. All of the character designs and armor stays faithful to the series and looks really good in battle. There are some weapons that contain magical effects too, so be on the lookout for these as they can give you a really nice boost on the battlefield. And plus, who doesn't want to wield a magical sword? The world design is amazing too. I'm yet to see another mod that blows me away with just the sheer amount of care that they put into it. Like, look at this vampire themed tavern. It just looks absolutely great. Nothing looks out of place, and it honestly looks like it could have been in the vanilla game, design-wise that is. And if you weren't already convinced, then just look at the design for the Mages Guild. It looks like something straight out of a World of Warcraft cinematic. The design is just amazing. It must have taken these guys ages to make all of this. So if all this wasn't enough already, then yes, you can use magic in battles. Fireballs, fire tornadoes, the whole lot. It's extremely fun to chuck down spells and melt away your enemies, and like I said before, it's going to take a long time before it starts to feel a little bit stale or it starts to feel a little bit old. So if you want to combine Warhammer's fantasy with Bannerlord's strategy, then the Old Realms is the way to go. Alright guys, if you've made it this far, then thanks for watching. I tried to give a brief summary of what you can hope to expect from each mod on this list without going too far into the nitty-gritties. If you enjoyed this video, then remember to leave it a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all of my uploads in the future. That's all for this one guys, see you in the next one.